Okay, so hi Rena. So just before we start, do we have the permission to interview you as Clarita's sister?
Yes, I do give the permission to do this interview. Thank you.
Okay, hi Rena. Thanks for taking the time out for this interview. We have interviewed our older sister Clarita previously, and right now we just like to hear your side of the story. So, Rena, when do you realize your sister was getting addicted to social media?
I realized that she was getting addicted to social media is when she using her phone more often, especially during dinner time or having family time. She's always on her phone and not even interacting with one of us. Yeah.
So, other than that, any other signs that make you realize that she was heavily into social media?
I think one of the biggest signs that I noticed in her is that she keeps isolating herself in a room. Like if we were having family plans, she would like not want to join us. She just would hide in the room, especially like not interacting us very well. Like we would ask her how was your day, she'd be like okay, or just one word reply, very dry.
Okay, so when you mentioned about her hiding, and then when she was hiding, did you or your family try to interview or try to like ask what's going on with her and stuff like that?
We did, but she just not try to speak up about emotions most often. Mostly she'll be just like, yeah, my day is okay, and like, yeah, it's fine. Then she just isolates herself.
Why do you think she felt that way?
I'm not sure. I mean, she has been going through some things recently, but she has not been very specific about it. Yeah.
So, what was communication like with your sister during this period?
It's actually very hard because we were actually really good, especially we are sisters, right? So like in betweens of sisters and sisters, our interaction is actually really good compared to parents. Actually, I knew her very well, but her communication with her during this period has been really hard because she's not talking very much. So I don't know what is going on with her in her mind and in her life especially.
So, how do you think this situation or perhaps her addiction affect your relationship with her?
Definitely, I feel more distance with her. Because growing up, like I always said, we always share stuff. We're very close compared with our parents. And this time, I'm just not knowing more about her. And she's not being herself lately also.
So I know that the both of y'all are in the same course in poly as well.
Yeah.
So like, do you notice her relationships with her friends like being affected because of like her addiction or anything?
I do, because she's a very bubbly and happy kind of girl. Like she's always around with her friends, but recently she's not very her friends well. She don't even go break sometimes. Like she would just wander off somewhere and her friends will be asking me like where is she, and I'll be like I'm not sure, and I'll text her and stuff and she will not be replying. So yeah, I think that's one of the way that I knew as well.
So even towards your parents, like towards your other family member, is she like that also?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like recently also, she's not very open about her life to her parents, our parents especially, but with me, she's very open about it. But then, ever since, like, I think the social media addiction, she's becoming less and less every day.
Okay. So, how we do know that about the credit card, about her
Yeah.
taking your credit card to spend on social media without your permission. So how do you find out that she has been using a credit card to spend on social media, specifically TikTok Live?
Okay, so I actually find out this through my credit card bills. So I had like an email on the bills as well that she actually maxed out till $3,000. And I was wondering where these $3,000 came from, because I don't even spend that much unless like necessary things need to use on credit. So I just found out that she actually used my credit card to buy the TikTok Live stickers and stuff.
So how did Clarita react when you confronted her about stealing her credit card to fund her own addiction?
She actually got a little bit aggressive towards me. Like she said that I don't care about her and stuff. But then I said like, as your sister and I'm very close to you, you should tell me about stuff. I could at least help you, even if you're in need of money. But she just being very aggressive towards me. She's like, I don't care, just let me use the credit card max. And I'm like, okay.
Have you tried more than once, I believe, talking to her about this?
I did, but she keep doing it.
Okay.
Did you ever ask your parents for any help regarding your sister addiction?
Oh, definitely. Like, if I knew that I couldn't help it by myself, I would definitely ask for my parents because they are someone who we trust. We've tried like a few stuff to help us out, but we're still in the progress to help out from the addiction.
So, what kind of support did you and your family give to Clarita?
Definitely, we first tried to confront her and give her more space and time to talk about it. Take it slow, you know. It's okay to tell us slowly, one by one. Like, we will be here. Even if you're going through anything, you can just let us know. We are open-minded. Yeah, she's definitely maybe trying, still at her slow pace, trying to come out what she's feeling and how to come out from this social media addiction.
So, what kind of signs do you think family members should look out for if any family member is addicted to social media?
I think most importantly, isolation. Because like in this generation, this era, we are very more often using our phone every day, right? So even any of us can be very addicted to social media. So I think once you start isolating yourself and not having like a day to stop at least 5 minutes from your phone, you should at least look out from that person. And I think the most important sign is when they are not talking as much as before. That's one of the biggest signs.
So, what kind of support do you think family members should give to help their close one who might be suffering or potentially suffering from social media addiction?
I think definitely like trying to talk to them and ask them like having small talks. How is your day going? To give them like support where you know that they will be there for you, and no matter what you're feeling, you can always talk to your family members no matter what without judgment. You don't have to like stick to social media addiction as always to like feel you are being seen or validated through social media. Like your family members, your friends are there for you as well.
Do you think spending time with family members will help one who is suffering from social media addiction? Or what do you think like family can, like what are some activities do you think family members can do with their close one who is suffering from social media addiction?
I think definitely like having family time, or maybe she doesn't like the activity that we plan as a family, and if she have like suggestions she would like to do, maybe we can try out her part of the activity as well. If that makes her happy, we will do it. So I think that's what family should do.
Okay, so how did you deal with your frustrations towards the lack of communication you had with Clarita?
At one point, I actually burst out into anger towards Clarita because I felt like I've given all my effort, all my best to help her out from addiction, but she would just refuse it, and she also got frustrated as well. So the anger part in me just built up, and I just like blasted her. So we definitely had a fight, and it actually was quite bad. We ended up not talking for around maybe 2 weeks. Then I let down my ego, and I'm like, you know what? It's my sister. I need to help out from because it is my family. She's my sister.
Okay, so like how did your family deal with Clarita's social media addiction?
At first they did notice that she's being distant from us, and obviously they confronted me and asked me like what's happening towards her. And then I told her about her social media addiction, and at first they were trying to like, you know, have some small talks with her, like being nice, and she just like took off her anger at them. So at one point they got mad as well, so they just confiscated her phone, and it also led another fight between our parents and her, which also did not end well. But at the end of the day, my family as well, they they also thought like, you know what, it's our child, so we like sit down as a family, try to come up an idea like what we could help her, any things that she would love to do to hang out and like not be a social media addict anymore. So yeah.
So you mentioned that Clarita would get like really aggressive and like angry when you would have like discussions with her. So like, could you describe like how she would get, like how she would act maybe?
She'll be at first she'll be like very passive aggressive towards me, and then at one point she would just like, cause she hate like how I confronted her like directly about her social media addiction, she would just straight up just shout at me and like just ask me to like get off of her room, like, you know, just she would just want to be alone. She just like push all of us away, and yeah, she just wanting to be alone, I guess.
Okay. So like what is the difference that you see from Clarita like 1 year ago versus now in terms of family relationship from your perspective?
I think she is definitely getting into her bubbly moods again. Not as much as before, but definitely in the progress of being her usual self. I can see that she's more or less using her phone. She definitely like manage her screen time, and I've noticed that she also set a screen timer thing where like, you know, if it's time to stop, she would just stop and she would put her phone aside and just come and talk with us for a while, have some time, dinner, and then she'll just go back and do her work and stuff.
Okay, nice. So like, how has she been like communicating with you guys more, and like, or like have you been like going out more? Because you mentioned that she isolated her and stuff.
Yeah. As for me with her, she has definitely been going out with me more. Like I would bring her out more often because I don't want her to isolate herself in the room. So I would be like, you know what, let's go shopping today. Let's go get some bubble tea or something. She would be like, okay, let's go. And we would just like have rules to it, like no phone, just sister bonding today, interact with each other. We definitely done that, and she has been better ever since.
Okay, nice. So, do you wish you could have handled anything differently as an older sister towards Clarita?
Honestly, I think I should have done it better in not letting out my anger towards her. Like I understand from her point of view, like she's in her mind is only like social media, not wanting to let other things into her mind. So the least I could have done was understand her point of view and try not to let out my anger, because it would end up in, you know, bad terms when we fought, which it did. But at the end of the day, I think now things have gotten better, and I'm so thankful that she has recovered from the social media addiction.
Okay, nice.
Okay, final question is there any difference right now? We do know that Clarita has gotten better from social media addiction. She has walked out. So right now, in terms of family engagement, the interaction with family is what is the difference that you see right now?
I think she's not being in her room always. She's always on the table, talking, having dinner. Like her phones, she try not to use it as much. So she's definitely like telling us how her day went, how school went. So I think that is a progress from her. And her friends also, like they text me and be like, oh yeah, she's actually coming back from her addiction. She's doing well.
Thank you, Rena, for the interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.